Hello, good morning. This is Dr. Fix today. I'm working on a VW Passat FSI 2006 model. Okay, the problem with this car have a lot of different issues which I've been trying my possible best to use the diagnostic tools to find out exactly what they mean, but it's not quite easy to actually find the problem. So I actually first started with the engine review. After doing that, and I just got the car which I talked about in the previous video that I want to flip. And after fixing up the engine, the car sounds very good, and I start having a problem. The transmission wouldn't communicate. So if you have a problem with your VW Passat FSI 2006 model, that the transmission will not communicate with your scan tool or communicate with the control module, with the electronic control module, then stay tuned, because today I'm going to be giving you a very good solution to fixing it. So the first thing which I'm going to be saying here is, if you're new to my channel, I've been searching through the information I'm getting on the YouTube so much and the internet to be able to read it down exactly what the problem is. And it doesn't seem quite easy. I see a lot of videos like 1 hour, 40 minutes, and yet I can't really pretty much go through those because the kind of scan tool that I have don't have scope. It doesn't have oscilloscope, and I don't even have oscilloscope right here which I can be able to use and diagnose a CAN bus issue. So because I don't have a oscilloscope to be able to diagnose a CAN bus issue, furthermore, I use the my scan tool here to be able to dive into the electronic control modules, and it goes. But whenever I want to go into the TCM, the first thing that comes to me right there is this couldn't be. It could be either a hardware failure or maybe a power failure. It can't go between this. It can't get up between these two. I know pretty much this could be the main issue why the owner decided to sell it in the first place. Because a lot of people actually do lie a lot about their car, that the car have no any problems, so that the people blah blah blah, the next person can buy it and inherit the problem. But they often forget that someone like me, if you sell a junk car to me, I'm gonna make you regret selling it, because I'm gonna get it back working the way it's supposed to work. And when you see it again, you're gonna wish you never sell it to me. So, and second thing that there is, I'm gonna make sure that you sell it dead cheap, but I'm gonna fix it, no matter how terrible it is. I have been in this kind of problem before, and it's not good one, because I had a problem sleeping very good at night when I had this kind of a problem, because with this kind of issue, pretty much nobody's gonna buy it. And the symptoms, further symptoms you're gonna be perceiving if suppose you have this kind of problem is, one is that first, car shift is gonna have is gonna hick up. It's gonna snap, and it's gonna feel as if the engine wanna fall off each time you shift. You shift the knob. The shifter between park to reverse, neutral, or whatsoever. So it's gonna be seriously kicking like as if the engine wanna fall off. Don't even rush going there. There is further symptoms also, like it's not gonna be showing. Where the gauge, where the shifter is, you're not gonna see the light right there. And another thing there is not gonna be showing on the dashboard. I'm supposed to make a video about this right now, so you follow up, you know exactly what I'm saying. But I have already solved the problem as I'm talking to you right now. And what I did to solve the problem is what I'm going to be sharing with you guys. So, in my own case, the light in the shifter there, right there, is not showing. And then on the dashboard where it's going to be showing drive, it's not showing. So if you have that kind of a problem, if you are sure that you have that kind of a problem, and you connect your scan tool to it, and it's not having a lot of other modules that are not communicating with your scan tool and ECM, then it probably could be a power failure. 90% chance you should be saving $1,000 going to solve that kind of a problem, because it's definitely, technically speaking, it's going to be a power problem. Now, before I solved this on this Passat FSI 2006 model, I've solved this kind of problem in some other cars, which is not a Volkswagen. Yeah, a lot of you guys are gonna say, yeah, he's the Volkswagen guy. Yeah, but no, actually, I like their cars so much. In spite of every other Scotty's crusade against BMW and European cars, I still prefer them over Toyota. Yes, I'm not allergic to quality. So if it doesn't show on the dashboard, I mean the drive, neutral, park, whatever, it doesn't show on the dashboard where it's supposed to be seen that it has changed to drive, which I'm going to be walking you to, then it doesn't show on the shifter, then stay tuned because I'm going to be walking you through the entire process you're going to be using to revert your spark. If you have Passat FSI 2006 model that have that kind of a problem. So right now, I'm going to be walking you through the step procedures. Okay, here we are. So now the first thing you're going to be doing here is going to be needing a multimeter. TCM of this very car is, the TCM is at the driver's side. If it's you're starting at the driver's side, it's at the driver's side right here. So you need to loosen out this tire here and remove this tire cover here that is inside here, this dust guard here. The control module is somewhere around this location in this fender here. So, and if you want to pull it out, it has some sort of a tool claw that you need to hold and pull it backward. When you pull it, then you can detach it. When you detach it, you flip the cable this way. I can actually uninstall it right now because I have a lot of things on my hands. I have to complete this engine right now, else I'm supposed to have showed you. Now when you flip it, just follow my direction and everything's gonna be fine. When you flip it, you should look at the terminals. There are exceptional terminals. There are 4 terminals. If you see their pins, they are bigger because I couldn't find the wiring diagram, the TCM wiring diagram, to be able to do the pin out. So I on my own sense, I know that definitely if power is going to be feeding the transmission control module, it has to be with a bigger gauge of wire. All right, so I know that those 4 will definitely be the one. So as I flipped it, then the next thing I'm going to be doing, if I'm you, is to use this multimeter here. Let me show you really quick. Okay, you turn it to voltage range here and take these the black probe here and ground it to the battery terminal. All right, when you ground it to the battery terminal, which is here like this, then you come back here and you hold this one and you're gonna use it to test each of those pins there. 2 of them are ground and 2 others are the power that is feeding the TCM. So you want to be sure that the ground and the mains, the power that is coming there, is constant. It's supposed to be giving you the battery voltage. Now after doing that, the next thing you need to do is to come inside the car and put your ignition on. So when you put your ignition on right here, which is through this your key fob, you push it, and as soon as the ignition comes on like this, then you're ready. When ignition, you turn on the ignition on like this, then you can be able to start testing out those pins right there. If there is no power coming in to the transmission control module that is here, then you have found a problem. I say within the 4 pins, you have to test it with this one grounded to the ground. They have to test them one after the other. 2 on the right side, if you flip it correctly, it should be the ground. The other one is the mains. Then after when you do that, then you still need to take this probe again and put it right here and test out the other pins too, using this probe to test the other pins. That's a very short way if you don't have oscilloscope and some other advanced expensive tools to check it. So once you do that, if you confirm the power is coming right there, then you have solved the problem. That is after resetting your fuse to be in this very format. Don't go below this or above this. This is just the standard setup. A lot of other people have tampered with it before. It might not be completely correct because there are 30 amp fuse here, but I gave it at least 20-25 on these 2 here. But every other thing here is as it's supposed to be. So I know with this setup, everything should be able to work fine. If it have worked in my own case, it should be able to work in yours. then if suppose you test it and there is no power, then that is the next thing. The next thing you're gonna be doing here is there could be a problem with the wiring, which is rarely and occasionally. You can see this wiring here. This very one right here, let me show you again. You can see right there, so that is where the transmission control module goes. So this cable here, you'll be needing to peel this off and check for the power ground. I mean the ground as much as the power that is going to the TCM. And I'm certain your problem is between this wire and here, and check for corrosion, for corroded or bent pins. But when I pulled out mine, I discovered that everything right there is intact. The pins are all straight and all good. I know definitely it should be a fuse thing. Then what you need to do next with your multimeter is to open this fuse compartment here. You need to push it up, push this upward, push it upward like this. Then it should open. Okay, now before it got to this very page that this my control fuse is, some fuse were lost, so I shopped for fuse today, and after shopping for those fuse, I know pretty much that this very one here, this fuse right here, this is one fuse you have to check. There are 3 slots right there. You have one slot here, you have another in the middle, and you have this one. So the fuse right there is gonna be fuse 53. That is the first fuse. That fuse is a multi-link, a multi-control gateway fuse. So in my own case, I found this fuse on this side here, because I told you I just bought this car. I found it here, and that side I don't really think is helpful. I found it on this slot of 62. Now the next thing which I also did is, this fuse is not also here. I also get to put it here. They have almost about 3 different electronic control module power that goes through this very circuitry here. This fuse box here. So if you don't know how to be able to trace them properly, just like I did before finding out the problem, I want you to watch this very setup very well. I'm gonna keep the video like this. All right, I want you to revert your Passat FSI 2006 model, Passat FSI 2.0T 2006 model. Revert your fuse to this very format exactly. You can pause the video like this and rearrange your fuse to this very format. Then furthermore, if you need to confirm the information that you need to get from this fuse panel here to be able to know if the power is going to your control TCM, where is the TCM of this very car is. The TCM is at the driver's side. If it's you're starting at the driver's side, it's at the driver's side right here. So if you think, then the one last thing before you go, if after this whole thing and this is not done, I want you to come over here to this very left side fuse here, compartment here. I'm gonna show you what you're gonna do. Apply it open like this. It's gonna be a little bit hard initially. Sorry, this is gonna scratch it, but I don't have any option right now. Okay, so I wanna take this thing off. Be careful not to damage it. Okay, now once you get this out, I'm gonna be shutting this ignition off right now. Okay, it should be number, you need to find this fuse right here. Find this fuse number 4 and number 3. You need to check them very well. In my own case here, this very fuse here is not here. I didn't even know the amperage because I couldn't see the fuse diagram. The fuse diagram I have is rubbish. So that should be number 20, number 24 fuse. Have that fuse well checked. Okay, now that you know how to be able to solve a problem with your VW Passat that doesn't communicate with the TCM, do support me by subscribing to my channel. give me a thumbs up and thank me on the description below on the comment section, and I gotta catch you guys later. If you have, after doing all this and the problem persisted, then I think it's definitely gonna be a CAN related issue. But if it is a power related issue, which is in most cases, like I told you, that I've solved on Hyundai, then this video should be able to help you solve your problem. Okay guys, this is Dr. Cool Auto Fix. I hope to catch you guys later. Bye for now.